Well, this is interesting. So it's being reported that George Lucas might be returning to Star Wars after all for a new live-action series. And the reason that I'm even toying with the idea that maybe this is true is because it comes from Star Wars Theories channel. He had a big guy, the guy who created the first lightsaber for George Lucas, Roger Christian, on for an interview. And he says that he's heard that George Lucas is going to come back and work on a series. And, you know, a couple of years ago, like, let's say this is true, right? And this is happening, and it gets announced today. It's not going to get announced. It won't get announced until after the Acolyte. But let's say that this is true. I don't feel any excitement for it, and I don't think I'm the only one that would feel that way, because Star Wars, I feel jaded over this franchise and what Disney has done to it and done to the fans. Like, I don't feel any excitement for this franchise at all anymore. I don't think I'm the only one. And maybe that's what Disney wanted for some reason. I don't know. It feels like they've wanted to run fans off. And, you know, well, I guess they got their wish. Ratings have been bad for a lot of these shows. The quality is shit. They refuse to make any changes at management level. The fact that Kathleen Kennedy is still there is a joke. And even if George is coming back for a show, I'm going to get into the rumor in a second, but I wanted to just give my thoughts real quick. Even if he is coming back, keep in mind, George Lucas does not have creative control over anything. So anything that he would decide to do in the show could be overridden by anybody higher up than him. They already ran off Jon Favreau. I've heard that from a pretty decent source, and I'm not the only one that's talked about that. I know, I believe they talked about it over on Nerdrotic's channel at one point. I know for sure Valiant Renegade and WDW Pro have talked about that. So I don't know 100% if Gary has, but I know WDW Pro, who runs this website, and Valiant Renegade have talked about that. Jon Favreau is out. And now they're going to bring in George Lucas. I don't know if I believe this, to be honest, because why would he want to come back? But then if you look at the way he treated the stockholder thing, I wonder, you know, did they go to him and promise something? So let's take a look at this. So here's the story. Former Star Wars assistant director and second unit director Roger Christian claims that George Lucas is returning to Star Wars and will be involved in a new live-action series. Christian, who won an Academy Award for the original Star Wars film for Best Production Design, revealed in a recent interview with Star Wars Theory that George Lucas is returning to Lucasfilm to work on a new live-action series. He stated, and this is the quote, "I think he's coming back. I'm pretty sure that he's doing a series. I think that we're bringing him into the fold. I think they're now bringing him into the fold, from what I hear, because there's a Star Wars live-action series coming, and I've got a strong suspicion that George will have something to do with that. That's what I'm thinking, and I might be prophesizing. That what I had heard and read," he continued, "and I don't know from anything apart from I'm prophesizing that it might happen, because you've seen he's been very physically present there. He's been down on the sets and everything. Yeah, he's been on the sets for The Mandalorian. He's visited from time to time. I don't know if that means he's going to work on a new series. He seems pretty content in being retired. I don't know if he's coming back. But he's saying he is. Until I see more, I don't know. But like I said, even if he is coming back, it really doesn't do much for me, because he would do one series. What is that? It's kind of like the Deadpool movie, right? Deadpool 3 looks great. I think it's going to be a good movie, but I got to tell you, like, I like the trailer. I'm not even really excited for that. I'm definitely probably going to find a way to watch it, if you know what I'm saying. But it's not going to save the MCU. It'll be a one-off. It'll be one good movie amongst a pile of shit. Because right after that movie comes out, you know what hits? That Captain America movie. I'm pretty sure is the next movie. Because Deadpool is the only movie coming out this year for Marvel. I think they might be getting a show, but I'm pretty sure that's the only MCU movie coming out this year. It's not going to save the MCU. What it will do is leave a good taste in people's mouths for a whole year. And I think Disney is hoping that the anticipation for more Marvel will drive up Captain America's sales. I don't think that's going to happen. It would be the same thing with George Lucas. People would be excited for that show. They'd watch it. And if he has the freedom to actually make a show, it'll probably be an okay show. But guess what? After that, it's back to Kathleen Kennedy hand-picked soup. So I don't see this as some redeeming factor. It's not going to save it. George Lucas is too old to come back and head anything. He would do one series, and that's it. They don't even go to him for consulting anymore. So George Lucas did come out, and remember the whole shareholder thing with Nelson Peltz? Nelson Peltz coming in and trying to get out. George Lucas came out and made a statement standing with Disney saying that he's going to vote with all of his shares, and he is the single largest shareholder for Disney. He has a lot of shares, so a lot of sway, and said he's putting all of his power behind Bob Iger and the Disney 12, the people that they picked for the board. And it was a weird statement to make, because if you looked at past interviews like this one right here, they actually have this video of George Lucas saying that Disney Star Wars is not my Star Wars. It is kind of like, he's got some resentment there. So I wondered, did they go to him? Were they so scared that they went to George Lucas and said, if you come out and support us, we will give you a show and you can make a Star Wars show. And George, I wonder if he fell for this bullshit, because let me tell you something. Disney, Lucasfilm, has announced a lot of Star Wars projects that have never hit production. They got announced, but never hit production. Like Rian Johnson's Star Wars trilogy. What happened to that thing? What was it, Rogue Squadron movie they were going to do? Like the Lando series, all kinds of shit that they've announced and never moved forward with. So what are the odds they went to him, said, hey, you want to do a show? And then they don't do it. And then, bam, George is left twisting in the wind again. But I got to be honest, it sounds like some things are lining up here that this might be true, but we'll see. Either way, it's not going to save shit. What are your thoughts, though? How do you feel about this? Could this get you to come back to Disney Star Wars? Could this win you over? Would you consider coming back to the fold and watching Star Wars again? Let me know what your thoughts are on this, real or not. Let me know in the comments. Also, if you would, please like, subscribe, share the video. Make sure you're still subscribed. Hit that notification bell, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace. Make sure to check out my locals. There's a link in the description. It's a fun community that I'm trying to build over here. If you don't want to support me on YouTube, you can come over here. None of that money goes to YouTube. You also can just come over here for free. But if you are a supporter over here, I do plan on doing an extra live stream once a month and throwing links to the supporters so you can actually come on and have a supporter live stream with me. Also, it's a good place to catch all of my content. You don't have to worry about notifications like YouTube. They'll definitely work over here. So come check out my locals.